Hi, I'm Carter Raaen. Today I'm going to show you how to achieve the authentic VHS look as seen in our latest upload, Green Trace. Okay, to do this process you'll need a device like a laptop to play the video on that you are pressing to VHS. You'll need a VCR, a blank VHS tape, an HDMI cable, two AV cables, an HDMI to AV adapter, a video capture device for a VCR, and that's about it. And now that we have everything we need, we're gonna plug everything in. With this is my HDMI to AV converter. I am going to plug it into its power source, and then plug it into my laptop via HDMI. My laptop doesn't have an HDMI port, so I have an HDMI to USB-C cable. Okay, next I need to plug the other end of this adapter into the VCR. Now that that's in the input of the VCR, I will plug these three AV cables that are plugged into the back of my TV into the output of the VCR. Okay, now I'll turn everything on and hopefully it works. Hey! Since my VCR didn't come with a remote, I also had to buy this universal remote to change some of the settings so that I was able to record. I had to make sure the input select was set to line 1 so that it was taking the AV cables that I just plugged in. And I also wanted to change it from EP to SP to ensure that it was recording at a slightly higher quality. Now let's put our blank VHS tape in. I like to make sure that it is fully rewound so that I know exactly when to start the recording when I'm digitizing it later. I also like to open the video file with the Movies and TV app, so there is no UI when I start playing the video like there is in VLC or Windows Media Player. Now let's start record, give it a few seconds, and play the video. Now, while we wait, let's have a conversation with Mr. Kian Schmeer, director of Green Trace and many other films.
Yeah. Well, thank you. You didn't have to, Carter. I'm glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
So, Kian, why green?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's actually a really good question. When I was conceiving Green Trace, I was in Hawaii at the time.
No.
But I was really inspired by taking long walks around University District at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of wanted to tap that into Aliens somehow. I was really inspired by Aliens at the time. So it was kind of a convergence of those three things, all the greenery that I was around.
Right.
I feel like green is such an alien vibe color. Yeah, I just think it gives this feeling of otherworldliness and eeriness from visuals alone.
Absolutely, I totally agree. And what a unique aesthetic for a silent film to have.
For sure. I mean, I was inspired by a lot of silent films at the time, and I wanted to try to do a unique take on it. So instead of black and white, I thought maybe black and green would be, visually interesting.
Totally. Yeah, and beyond just the aesthetic, color-wise, as camera operator, I had a lot of fun just like spinning the camera around and turning it upside down. Definitely the most fun I had in that role in my time at Lux.
I'm glad. Yeah, it was really fun just like thinking of all these crazy different ways of visual presentation. We had a lot of highs and lows in terms of the on-set experience, walking
Absolutely.
around in U District all at night.
Yeah. And stuff like that, especially turning the camera upside down. I think about how that is a lot harder now that we are working with like higher end equipment, like all these rigged out cameras that are kind of unwieldy. I can't, as a single camera operator, go quite as insane in that regard. And so it was a really fun experience to be able to do that on this.
Yeah, I agree. It was awesome. I'm glad we were able to pull it off. Joey's camera was pretty essential.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we're crunching it down anyway, it certainly doesn't need to be the highest quality setup in the world either.
Right. Initially, I wanted to maybe have some type of digital film enhancement look to it. And then, I don't know, I feel like it's not super original. And I'd seen a lot of people do it. It would take a long time to render.
And then we kind of left that idea alone for a while. But at the end of 2023 school year, I ended up putting a tape together using this process of all the films we had worked on together.
Right.
And Green Trace definitely stood out as one of the ones that benefited most from that aesthetic.
Totally.
So decided to do that on its own, kind of matching your original vision, I think.
Totally did.
And that's what released on HazeCrate.
I think it was even better than I initially envisioned it.
Yeah, because I think digitizing it from the tape crunches it even more. So
right.
Perhaps the worse it looks, the better it realizes your vision.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong in that case.
Let's see. Going back to the on-set experience, what are some favorite memories?
Oh man. Well, I mean, the main one that I remember is the one time we had to cancel set because of rain. And I think that was also the same day that you drove over a curb in the parking lot.
Yeah, that was a great time.
We had to manually pull a broken curb out from under your car. So we ended up being late to set, which was crazy.
And then just sat in our cars forever while it was raining. Yeah. No, now that you mention it, there are a lot of unexpected hiccups like that.
Yeah.
And it was also just so cold because it was
we're walking around in
winter.
late fall.
But there were multiple instances of just people approaching the cast and the crew.
Especially shooting the opening alley sequence with the cat, which I dressed up as the cat, which is another fun talking point.
Yeah.
We were just kind of chilling in a crew with all of these, people just from around the area. We're just kind of coming up and watching us shoot or talking to us.
Right.
But, just shooting in public, the more people that are there, the more uncontrolled variables and the more stressful it'll be. I remember we had Emma and Vinny behind a corner about to walk out of an alleyway, and then we saw
that's what I meant.
these guys who were kind of creepy go and try to start talking to them. Yeah. So it was stressful. We had shooting the ending of Emma dancing. It was super cold, and obviously she's exerting herself physically to a great extent. So that one was definitely challenging too, but I mean she killed it.
And I guess speaking of just people not only approaching us but just in the background, I think it's really impressive that we managed to get every shot without any moving people or cars in the background.
I think there's one where you can see people through a glass building.
Oh really? Okay. Pretty unnoticeable though.
True. I think that's
which in such a busy area
Yeah.
Was definitely also a hurdle to overcome, I think.
Yeah, there were so many locations that we wanted to use, which is kind of why the film ended up being so long. But that's one of my favorite parts on it, reflecting on it, is just all the location work we did. Oh my gosh, I think it ended up being like 7 or 8 shoot days.
It was, and but in retrospect, this is the most fun I've had making a film, I think.
Yeah, arguably.
Even though there were so many difficult things that happened.
I remember actually, speaking of, at this point, there was some human poop in that staircase.
Yeah,
we just had to avoid with the when it goes black. That actually avoids seeing the poop.
Yeah, that's what made it such a great experience, was the poop everywhere.
Right.
Want to talk about the inspo behind this shot right here?
Oh right, of course. The seemingly POV, and then 180 back to it. It's inspired by one of my favorite films of all time, Funeral Parade of Roses, by Toshio Matsumoto, which has a very similar shot. when the main character is in this mask museum and like hyperventilates and passes out, and you have this passing out POV that you think is a POV until it flips around and it actually just becomes a shot looking at the character. There's quite a few shots in here or moments that were directly inspired by, you know, things that I like. A lot of the text cards were inspired by like songs, like lyrics and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not too hidden with my inspirations.
I think we'll see it in a moment. Where did you get the laser pointer, the titular green trace from?
So I one night, probably 6 months before shooting this, I was at a park and I was like hanging out with my friends. It was pretty late at night and we just saw this insane light pattern, this green light pattern go across these trees. And it ended up being this dude who was just chilling out there with a laser pointer. And he ended up walking by us and we were like, was that you like doing that like light thing? He was like, yeah, it's just this. And he like showed us the laser pointer and he like told me what it was called. So then when we were shooting this, it came back to me and I ended up being like, that could be a great, you know, that could be a great look. I mean, it's already a cool pattern without all of the...
Just talking about this shot.
That one took
it was using the laser pointer, but trying to bounce it off a black jacket to appear in her eye.
Right. Trying to get the pattern
one of the most difficult shots to achieve.
Absolutely.
And it's still not super visible, but I think it looks pretty cool.
I think it added a unique touch.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, all the crazy effects you can do with it.
Yeah, I'm glad we got the Daniel Johnston mural in there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of, more than any other film I've ever done, there was like location scouting involved and a lot more pre-production. You know, I wanted it to be spatially disorienting, but I think it's even more so if you know these areas. They are not, a lot of times it's nowhere near where we actually are in sequence, which I know is a common practice, but when we're all on foot, it was
yeah,
there's a lot to keep track of. Right, here is the bridge near Sandpoint, which is one of my favorite locations that we use.
Absolutely. I think it's a blessing we ended up here because we'll see in a moment the shadows of the masked figures.
Right.
Incredible looking.
One of the only regrets I have about this film is that we didn't get black cloaks for them to wear.
Sure, yeah.
You see them in North Faces and Vans and stuff, but
yeah.
I don't think it necessarily breaks the immersion.
Yeah. And I think putting this on VHS enhances this shot specifically because it's a lot less clear that there are masked figures in the background. Absolutely. You can still make it out if you know it's coming, but
the music helps with the scare as well.
Oh, 100%. Oh yeah, we haven't touched on the score, dude. It's my favorite work of the great Cyrus Schmidt.
The great Cyrus Schmidt behind the camera.
Yeah. I listen to this on repeat to this day, just playing the film in the background, no visuals.
No, I agree. I kind of see this film less as a silent film and more as a music video, a long music video.
Totally.
And that's kind of how it plays out. There's a score going the entire time that we spent a lot of time on. Cyrus made a bunch of individual tracks, and then me and the great June Leahy, our editor, were kind of figuring out how to get all these tracks in at specific times and giving Cyrus timing, and he was kind of morphing it. So we did a lot of the music editing from all these tracks that Cyrus sent, and it really came together into this long piece. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I think June Leahy is also one of the masked figures.
Oh, right. There's a lot of
crew cameos.
Yeah, nice little cameos here. There was Natalie. With the insane contacts in. Right.
Yeah. I think June pointed out that you can see their eyes kind of shift in the background and not wide, which you don't really notice unless you're looking for it. But it's such it is kind of a creepy touch that their eyes are just shifting behind the masks.
Yeah, I remember shooting this scene. The only actual, like, real live sound in the film is Emma's scream, which we did use the real scream, I believe, from this shot.
With some adjustments.
Yeah. But it's not fully dubbed over.
Yeah.
And there would be people walking over the bridge every once in a while. There was like some old folks walking over the bridge and
right. Yeah.
just let out like a blood curdling scream. It was pretty funny.
No, I was always amused by all the passersby, like especially when the masked figures are there. There'd be like bikers going past. There's a bunch of like creepy, like yeah. That was also a really fun experience to have. Oh yeah, what, dude?
I'll let you talk about this one.
I mean, this was mostly Joey, like the lenses and filters he had that just, I mean, look at it, dude. This is insane.
What is the effect called?
Kaleidoscopic something or other.
Kaleidoscope lens filter.
Yeah. Again, so much fun to just let loose with all this technology that we've never used before or since. We had some CG.
I think the VHS definitely makes the CG look better.
Yeah.
Because it kind of blurs the details a little bit.
Yeah. That was done by a former coworker of mine who very generously was just like, if you ever need some VFX done, let me know. And I was like, well, we have this Alien film in the works.
You can see the Jackery case right there.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
That shot of her smiling at the camera right before this one was inspired by the end of Sleepaway Camp, one of my favorite horror movies.
No, I mean, I know we were talking about how difficult this was. Understandably so, but I had a lot of fun just like kind of following around Emma wherever she went.
It was only 2 or 3 takes, and she just went as long as she could. I've always loved dance scenes, especially crazed dance scenes, and especially at the end of films. A lot of my films have dance scenes, especially at the end as well. My favorite part is coming up, which is where the poster came from as well.
And that's Green Trace.
Yeah. So, it was a pleasure being here.
Thank you for joining me.
Of course. Shout out to everybody who worked on this. It was
incredible casting group.
Yeah, it was
the best.
It was an amazing time. It was the first thing I ever directed. First thing I ever directed when I really joined the whole Lux squad. And yeah, it was legendary time.
Such a good time.
Yeah.
Now that Green Trace is done, I have stopped the recording and I'm going to eject the tape from my VCR. Alright, and in order to digitize it again, I have to fully rewind this tape. My VCR doesn't do super well, so I have a separate rewinder device right here that I'm going to use real quick.
Wait, does it take 30 minutes?
No, but it takes a while. So you can probably stop. Like, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe. All right, now that the tape is fully rewound, we can put it back in the VCR. Now we can whip out this device, which is going to help me record it using a software on my laptop. So I'm going to switch over the AV cables here, so it's no longer outputting to the TV, but instead, I'm going to use these cables instead to output into my Elgato capture device. The other end of this is a simple USB-A that I can plug directly into my laptop. Now we have opened my Elgato video capture software. I'm going to name the film, press continue, make sure everything displays correctly, press continue again, assume that the audio works, start recording, play the tape. There we are, Green Trace. Now, the moment this is done, I'll have a digital file on my computer that will display the film exactly as Kian Schmeer intended.
In VHS.
In VHS. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to HazeCrate.
Subscribe now to HazeCrate.youtube.com.